Beautiful Monday, you hear me? But this is something that I'm gonna jump into, sharing content of my life's experiences. Hopefully somebody else can relate to it. Hopefully it helps somebody. Because one thing that I learned, when you share what you're going through, it allows you to talk through a lot of stuff and allows people to learn from it. You feel me? One day that a testimony produces a prophetic atmosphere, you know what I'm saying? So it allows people to see what's coming, and or maybe encourage people that, hey, I ain't the only one in the same boat. You feel me? So my boys challenged me to start this, and without any script. So this is just straight from experience and an authentic portrayal. Ooh, that's a big word. Portrayal of what I've been going through the past month and a half. So as some of you guys know, I was in Finland for a few months. Chasing the dream or chasing the goal of starting my career in Europe, and it didn't go as planned due to things I couldn't control. But while I was there, I definitely almost gave up basketball. Like, it was around Halloween. I was like, yo, forget this. I'm not getting the respect I feel I've worked for. So when I was given the opportunity to showcase my skills, it just felt like God wasn't allowing people to see me, and it would be different if I sucked. But in this case, like, all the feedback was positive. So I'm like, all right, so like, what's up, you know? So I'll never forget, I had an offer on the table. And the coach sent me the offer. He was like, all right, I got to talk to my board of directors. All right, talking to his board of directors. The day goes by. I'm like, yo, what's going on? And he's like, the board didn't approve it. So at this point, I'm angry. And I'll admit, I was angry at God. If you believe in that, if you don't, I was angry at the universe, whatever, just related to your belief system. And I didn't talk to anybody for 2 weeks because I was angry and confused. This is the first time in my life I've been angry, right? I sat down in some place, like nobody's gonna bother me. It was cold outside. Of course, it's Finland. And I sat there and I had to reevaluate if it was worth it for me. You know, if it was worth it, what is my why, stuff like that. I know y'all hear it all the time, but for somebody that ain't made it to go through it, you know, hopefully this is something that's relatable. So I went through it, and I sat there for about 45 minutes, an hour, and I went through all the scenarios, and I went through what is the ultimate goal here. And the ultimate goal for me was to be able to use my life as an example that anything is possible, regardless of the track that you take to get there, based off hard work, faith, dedication, and what's the word I'm looking for? Come on, Google. An appropriate execution of proper networking. For those of y'all who don't know, I didn't finish my college career playing ball, but since I was a kid, like at the age of 13, I wrote all my goals down on the wall, and to this day, I've accomplished everything that I set out to accomplish, not in the way I thought I would, but in the way that it was necessary. And so that's currently the journey that I'm on. I put it in the atmosphere at the age of 13, and at the age of 27, I'm still going after it and accomplishing more than I thought I would, you know, as a whole. And so I had to reevaluate my why and if what I was going through was worth it. And then something came to me and said, it is, because eventually your influence, your what you gone through in your life is going to help millions of people to continue their journey, whether I make it or not. You know, the way I think, I've made it. I've been successful enough to where people are literally, to this day, looking at what I've done, what I've said, the encouragement I give, and they're going after the goals that they set without any fear. And that's something that I've grown into, being fearless in my pursuit. But I will admit that a mistake that I made, and I didn't recognize it until my boys called it out, was that the avenues that I'm using to ultimately get to my goal, because basketball is just a passion. It's not what defines me. It's not the end all be all. But I use it as a platform to be that model of nothing's impossible. And I saw that after the conversation, I saw that I was so focused on one avenue that I was neglecting the gifts that I had to carry out this goal, to carry out this dream of being a global influence. And I was isolating myself to it just being basketball. And something my cousin told me, he said, I learned that over time it's okay to adjust your goals based on where you are. You're not saying you're giving up. At some point, you learn more, you get more perspective, you gain more experiences, you get more knowledge, you get wiser in your pursuit. And you're able to now navigate and apply more instances that will help you establish your ultimate goal of whatever it is, whether it's money, whether it's family posterity, whether it's investment goals, whether it's a business opportunity. You see that in that pursuit there are multiple ways that you can acquire that goal. And it's been on my heart because I've been struggling with this since I got back into the States, of what's next. And it's something that's bothered me because for years I was forcing that vehicle to just be basketball, but everything else around me, whether it's me training, my trainers asking me to work with these kids and the kids gravitating towards me, whether it's me going after a job and ultimately becoming a teacher that I would have never thought would happen. But everything that I do in my life is centered around influencing somebody else to do something better based off the experiences that I've had. And sometimes you got to sit back and look at it and say, yo, okay, I'm listening. For anybody that's chasing a goal, that's thinking there's only one way to do it, it's not a safety net. I don't like that word safety net. It's not a safety net, because if you're growing from it, if you're progressing in your ultimate goal, then it's not a safety net. It's just another tool that's sharpening something that you need to ultimately acquire your blessing down the road. And I'm a living testimony of it. I done been through hell and back when it comes to going after your goals and stuff like that. And it's still not all figured out, but that's okay. It's okay because I'm more open to the possibility of it being track B instead of track A. Is it comfortable? Heck no. It's not comfortable, but anything that's worthwhile isn't comfortable. I know you hear a lot of people say, oh, I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. I mean, that's cool. You feel me? But thrive in it. Thrive in being uncomfortable. God willing, I'll be able to share more of my journey with y'all. But man, the last 3-4 years has been nothing but uncomfortable. But look, in order for a seed to grow, it got to be covered by dirt. You feel me? So you got to be willing to do whatever and be willing to adjust to what you learn down the road. Because at the end of the day, if you constantly write out your goal, speaking into existence, it's gonna come, but you got to be comfortable with it not coming in the form that you believe that it should come in. Because ultimately, whether you believe in the universe, God, whatever, it's gonna come in the way that is gonna benefit the universe or benefit God, and it's gonna come out in that way, whether you like it or not. And some people are fortunate that they hit the jackpot. Some people have to adjust, and I'm just here to say, yo, it's okay if you adjust. Adjustment doesn't mean destruction. Adjustment doesn't mean you stopping. It just means that, hey, from your experiences, from your new insight, from your new tools, from you recognize your gifts versus your passion, like now we need to alter that to suit where you are at now. And that's okay, man. That's a part of life. That's a part of growing. It's been a part of my process, and hopefully these people can can relate to it, and hopefully it helps somebody else. Don't stop. Don't stop. It's never stopping. Establish your why and look at how you can get to your why with different platforms, and that's okay. Don't let anybody tell you that one way is this and one way. That's foolish. First off, the people who said that are old school, and they didn't have any resources to anything else, and the competition wasn't as heavy. Now there's so many different tools you can use to get to a certain point, to get to a certain goal, and don't let that old school mindset of this is it and this is all it's going to be to hinder you when there's so many resources out here now. All right, so first video, hopefully you vibe with it. I'm about to go give some people some work in this gym real quick, but yo, keep pushing, believe in yourself, write out your goals, and it's okay. Look, if you doubt something, step back and process why you're doubting it, and I promise when you do that, it'll come back to you like, yo, it's just perspective. All right, perspective is a big thing. Control your thoughts and you'll control your destiny. All right.